Hey, it's Elizabeth, Countess of Low Carb, and on this episode, we're going to do weight loss with keto diet insulin and fasting insulin. Coming up next. Hey guys, it's Elizabeth, Countess of Low Carb, and on this episode, we're going to do weight loss. We're going to talk about weight loss with the keto diet insulin and with fasting insulin. How does that all matter? Why do you care? But first, before we dive into this amazing topic of weight loss, make sure that you cha-cha your fingers down, smash that like button, make sure you click subscribe to see all things keto and intermittent fasting, and make sure you sign up for my free, yes, I said free upcoming online workshop. It's a fasting workshop on Wednesday, June 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. There's only 500 spots though. We are pretty close to maxing out. You have to register for this free resource. It's my gift to the Countess of Low Carb community. Do that right now and then come back and watch me after you've registered for that free intermittent fasting workshop. Okay, let's dive in and talk about the combination of weight loss with the keto diet insulin and weight loss with fasting insulin, how these two marry together and make for a beautiful partnership of equaling weight loss. But first, here's my before and after. And I show that picture to show that what I'm talking about works. Like, this is not theory, this is not whatever, it's worked for me, and if it can work for me, it can work for you, my friends. Okay, so a couple of things. One, let's talk about insulin. Let's talk about this. I don't have diabetes. However, my before, as you saw, I was very obese, morbidly obese, and it was bordering on the point of where it was becoming somewhat of a concern. And one of the reasons in my weight loss, I've been tracking a lot with my glucose, my insulin, tracking my glucose with my insulin to see, am I going near the diabetic area? And so the whole ball of wax here is that losing weight is not about calories in or calories out. Dr. Fung, the daddy of intermittent fasting, has great videos on why, like the medical component. I'm not medical, that's not my jam. This is just my experience, strength, and hope. But the medical component of why calories in, calories out is bogus. And while it's all about insulin management, basically, if you take nothing out from this video except for weight loss is about insulin management. Keeping your insulin as flat-lined as possible is how one loses weight. And that's been what Dr. Fung's talks about medically, has been my personal experience following those suggestions that he's given through intermittent fasting and the ketogenic diet. So basically with the keto diet, it's high fat, moderate protein, low carb. When one has high fat, it keeps you satiated, it keeps you fuller longer. And two, it's not spiking the insulin. Fat does have an insulin impact, it does, but not as significant as say a protein or a carbohydrate. It's not as high. And so keeping it as flatlined as possible is what the keto diet helps. Now, when you add on top of that, like the Avengers, so that's Iron Man is the ketogenic diet, and Thor, or we'll say Black Widow from Avengers, is like, we need a girl character, is like the fasting insulin part of it, using intermittent fasting of where you're not spiking your insulin because you're giving your body a rest. The whole premise of fasting is to give your body a rest. Let it rest. We don't need to feed the machine 3 times a day with meals and 2 snacks and all that garbage. That's proven to be garbage. Don't buy into that lie because it's garbage. What the truth of the matter is keeping your insulin as flatlined as possible through fasting, maybe doing a 16-8 fast, 16 hours of fasting, an 8-hour eating window, doing an 18-6, 8 hours of fasting, a 6-hour eating window, stair stepping up to 24 hours, 36 hours or higher. My personal highest fasting time is 50 hours for intermittent fasting and giving one's body a rest. So in Dr. Fung's book, The Guide to Intermittent Fasting, which I will link down below, he talks about things that don't break a fast, right? But ideally, if one can build, this takes building, and that's been my experience too. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Can build to getting off of things of like having butter in my coffee while I'm fasting. If I can get to just having coffee and then get to just having water, that gives the body a complete rest. And so there's a thing called water fasting. That's for another video for another day, of where you only have water during your fast and nothing else. No coffees, no teas, no nothings. But Dr. Fung's book talks, and I have a video which I will link below, of what breaks your fast per Dr. Fung. But so having these things of what breaks your fast, what doesn't break your fast. Sweeteners do break your fast, friends. Even the keto approved ones like Swerve, Stevia, they still break your fast because it's a sweetener. Anything that is a sweetener like a Diet Coke would break your fast. A Gatorade, or even like the G2, whatever fancy Gatorades, those break your fast. Like anything that could potentially have sweetener in it, even an altered sweetener, does break your fast. But let's go back to insulin. So insulin, we're trying to flatline our bodies as much as possible. And this is what excuse my Ziploc bag. This is what I use is my Keto Mojo. I will put it in the description link below, but here's a given day of how I would use my Keto Mojo. So I just got back up into my room. I'm gonna go ahead and take my blood reading. I like to know where my glucose readings are, and so I do like to take them while I'm doing intermittent fasting, and I use the Keto Mojo. I'll put down below in the description link a link if you wanna get a Keto Mojo. It's my fave. So I use my Keto Mojo to measure different parts of the day. Sometimes I don't do it at all with measurement with my glucose and with my ketones. And sometimes I do it like often, like 4 times a day or 5 times a day. It just depends on what my goals are for that day and what I'm trying to track. There's a couple of things with insulin spikes that your body is naturally going to do. One is going to be the dawn effect. 90 minutes after you wake up, your body's naturally going to rise its glucose. It's going to alter your blood when you take these. And what I love about the Keto Mojo is that you can use the one activator, so to speak, and you can test it with your ketones or your glucose. So glucose is a way that you can measure your insulin, but not the only way to measure your insulin. So there's things like insulin resistance, and basically where your body's going to produce more insulin just to kind of keep up with your pancreas. There's things like prediabetes, things like that you can start seeing in these trackings of what your measure should be. Basically, blood glucose under 100 is good. For ketones on the Ketone Mojo, starting at nutritional ketosis is from 1 to 3. You want to be in that ballpark. Usually around 2 or 3 is you're rocking and rolling. Most days for me and my body and when I'm doing all these lovely things is around the 1.8 to 2 point, depending on if I work out and get my lifting in, it can go up to 3. You don't want it higher than 3 for the ketone part of it. Going back to insulin, measuring our glucose, you can use whatever meter you want, but knowing when natural body spikes are going to be with the ketogenic diet and with intermittent fasting. So we know one spike is going to occur with the dawn effect, and that's going to happen 90 minutes after you wake up. Your numbers are going to be elevated, right? So I traditionally don't test when I wake up until after 90 minutes and after of having been awake. That will give me a better measurement of what my body is and things like that. I have found that coffee with cream does spike my glucose. Shocker. So just knowing things like that, you can start measuring and testing what your body's reaction is, because everybody's body's different. That's the beautiful thing that God made us, is that we're all different. So yours might be different than mine. Then 90 minutes before I eat and 90 minutes after I eat is also a really good gauge for me to see where I am, what I'm doing, or I'll do it right before I eat and then 90 minutes after I eat. If you do it right after you eat, that's going to jack with your levels. See how your body reacts up to 90 minutes after having had that food. So say, for example, you're having a keto diet sweet. You have a keto approved sweet. See how your body reacts to that, right? Like some of these keto approved packaged things I found through testing do not work for my body, which is why most of my keto videos, my keto diet videos on cooking are from scratch, and doing that with 7 businesses, a hot husband, a 3-year-old, and a foster mentee, a really enriched schedule. How do you make these things from scratch that don't spike your insulin? But it's one of my secrets to success has been making things from scratch. So the whole ball of wax, again, going back to weight loss, is keeping the insulin as flatlined as possible and not having these spikes. I used to have tons of Diet Cokes. In fact, 3 big gulps in a given day. It was kind of nuts. But I needed it to function. That was jacking with my insulin. Even though I had been taught via Weight Watchers that was okay, I should have a wing at Weight Watchers. Anyone else should have a wing at Weight Watchers? Put down in the comments below if you did Weight Watchers too. I learned that that really jacked with my insulin, and it spiked it, and it did not work well for my flatlining my insulin as much as possible. So now when I think of things in terms of weight loss, I'm thinking with the keto diet and with fasting, what's that going to do to my insulin? That's going to play into my weight loss journey. It's going to play into big time my weight loss journey. So that would be my encouragement to you. The more I started to paradigm shift my weight loss, associating it to insulin via the keto diet, via fasting, the better off and faster weight started to come off. I lose weight when I'm in that zone of thinking of insulin. When I try to take shortcuts like shakes, pills, sweetener thingy doodles, it jacks with my insulin and I stall out a little bit faster. One other thing, I have done tons of videos. The beauty of YouTube is that I have done lots of videos this past year and a half. I'm almost getting close. In September will be 2 years of doing YouTube. So I can see my progress. I can track my progress. And one regret I do have is showing y'all that I would put sugar-free sweeteners in my Starbucks drinks. I would do day in the life of ketos, and that is in there. And I regret that people think that that helped me. It helped me to a certain point, and then it hurt me. I needed it to start the keto diet as a beginner and like getting several months under my belt, even more than several months. I used it for a while. It was a crutch. Now, knowing that that spikes my insulin so much, I just want to I want to encourage you, look at what you're eating in terms of sugar-free products. Even if they're keto approved, it may be stalling your weight loss out. It did for me. And the best tool that I got, one of the best tools I got, was my awesome Keto Mojo. I love this thing. It's really easy to use, and I have a special Countess code down below. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button, and it will show other people that this might be a pretty good video to watch. Make sure you click subscribe to see all things on the ketogenic diet, all things intermittent fasting, and sign up for my free Wednesday, June 19th, 2019 workshop at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be how to use intermittent fasting to lose 25 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds or more without feeling hungry, hangry, or hostile when you eat. It's going to be good. It's totally free as my gift to the Countess of Low Carb community. I would love to have you there. So sign up down below, and I'll check you again next time for all things keto, all things intermittent fasting. Make it a powerful day. Bye, guys.